For example, Glenn's white and I'm not, and at first I felt really, really fine about it, but then I was looking around looking for cosplaying tips, and I read a lot of blogs that said people got a lot of unnecessary hate for dressing up like a character that wasn't their original skin color, and I didn't want to have to deal with that, so I almost didn't wear this.
Sometimes it makes it difficult because if you really want that character and if they're a different like skin color or even body type, you'll get that feeling like, can I really pull this character off? Sometimes you may even feel discouraged, but you have to realize, well, I'm going to put my all into it, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I can to make the cosplay.
There's not really any characters that shows the colored side of characters, so you have to pick a character that you would normally see and actually just do it. Like, you might get criticism, you might not. I normally look up and see if anybody of color has actually done the costume that I'm doing. If not, it really weighs a toll, like, should I do it, should I not do it? And then it just comes down to the fact that, oh, I'm gonna do it.
But I gotta understand where, because they don't have that many dark-skinned characters, which is, you know, it is what it is. But it shouldn't matter. I don't think it should.
One of my former friends, he's a self-dubbed cosplay purist, which really might be a nice way of saying cosplay racist, just a little bit. Because he's like, I want to cosplay as Ichigo, but I'm the wrong skin color. And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. Because like, if you want to cosplay as Ichigo, cosplay as Ichigo. I won't look like orange hair. And I'm like, you know what? You'd be surprised. It's like, you would be surprised.
Because it's not a lot of them. I mean, you can, the generic, like, Yoruichi, Storm. Who else can you think about like that actually, you know, people actually know?
Because you want to be very, very accurate with the character, but like, it doesn't really matter. But I know a couple people that will probably say like, well, you're not the right skin type, so why are you doing this costume? Or you're not the right body type, so why are you doing this costume? It's not going to look good on you. And so sometimes it does make it harder, especially if you're in that circle of people or around that group of people that has those kind of feelings, so it makes it a little bit difficult to cosplay.
Maybe because they're afraid to, I don't know, show like that they really like anime and comic books and stuff, because, you know, as the black stereotype, it'll be considered weird for us, which is, I guess, we're considered weird since I'm black. And yeah, they just don't know how to go about it, and maybe because there's not a lot of, you know, dark-skinned characters out there for us, and they probably don't want to do a character that's white because they don't want to be, you know, talked about.
Race can play a major role in these portrayals because of accuracy to the character. Accuracy is extremely important for some cosplayers. Some believe a character's race changes the quality of the cosplay, and some take personal offense when their favorite character isn't portrayed as accurately as possible. Occasionally, there's backlash against black cosplayers who depict characters outside their race. Racial criticism affects each cosplayer differently.
The craziest one is actually from Yoruichi, and she was like, "You're too dark to be Yoruichi," and I'm like, "But she's black." Like, I don't understand. So I think that was probably the most weirdest one, when she's a dark-skinned character.
You know, I was fumbling through YouTube. There was a guy who also had Sharingan contacts, which I thought was kind of cool. And, you know, he was a black guy, and down in the comments, there was a user who was like, "You can't be in Uchiha, you're black." And I'm like, well, that's not a fair statement. If you want to play that route, the Uchihas are Asian. It kind of hurts my feelings a little bit when a lot of black people feel like they can't cosplay a certain character because of their skin color. Like, I'm like, why are you hindering yourself? Like, it's bad enough that, like, a lot of times there's already enough racism in the world as it is. There's already enough people that are like, hey, you're black, you can't do it. Why would you do it to yourself?